Oh, I need to destroy those crystals. Uh-oh.
Reeling, gasping, taken over the edge into madness.
Whoa! What's oh, what am I doing here? Oh, I'm missing. Ah! Oh, did I ever tell you about the time that I
Executed with impunity.
so there was a time in which I had a cat, and the cat's name was Diablo, and ow, that hurt. That hurt a lot. And so like that cat, so what happened? So what happened with the cat? The cat that is that cat. What happened with it? So what did happen with it? I guess that's the question I'm asking you. What happened to my cat? No, the cat's fine. The cat's fine. I don't know what you're talking about. But yes, the cat's name was Diablo. Did you know that? Of course you did. Of course you knew that. How? Why wouldn't you know that? It was a kitty. Yeah. It went meow. So, the story with the cat. So I lived after I came back from college,
Unforeseen.
I stayed with my mother, I guess,
Slowly.
for like a very short time, like maybe a month or so.
Is taken.
Because once again, we weren't on very good terms. So I was literally just using as a place to stay for a short time while I found my own place. So I went ahead and found my own place. So this place that I was staying with her was when the cheese story happened. Remember the cheese story? Well, that happened. That happened like exactly around the spot in which between the time that I did you guys hear that? Did you hear that? What was that sound? No, wait, what? Yeah. So it was right around the time in which I should heal. I don't know why I'm not healing. Why am I not healing? So I had my own place,
A faint hope blossoms.
and it was like a one-bedroom apartment, and it was up these stairs or whatever. So much stuff happened there. Like, and I keep thinking about like, oh my god, I almost died. I'm not paying attention. That's not good. That's not good at all. Oh no. Uh-oh. Oh no. Is there anything I can do? Nope, I just got stunned. Oh wait, no, I can do that. So, so yeah, I don't know. I had a cat named Diablo. Did I mention that yet? It's a cat, and Diablo was his name. Did you know that though? Hey guys, did you know that? I don't know. Irrational probably turned into annoying there for a minute there. But yeah, so I lived on my own, and then at the time I had a ex-girlfriend. Yeah, Diablo cat. The name was Diablo. I was actually going to name it Mephisto because I was really into Diablo 2 at the time, but didn't. Well, I can tell you what happened to him eventually, but I have a couple stories with him. So I had a cat, and the cat's name was Diablo. Just in case I didn't go to say that already, I didn't know if I mentioned that part because the cat's name was Diablo. Anyways, so I had a cat named Diablo, and then, so the story behind Diablo is Diablo. Did you know that? El Diablo himself was a cat and was mine. It's my cat named Diablo. So I had a cat named Diablo. Oh, sick, Duriel. He was such a bitch in the game. Yeah, Dado. The Dadlo. Dilo. So, okay, I got a real story for you, okay? Alright, for reals. No joking around this time. So, I had a cat named Diablo, and the cat's name was Diablo.
Such a terrible
So,
cannot be left
but the story of how I got Diablo, the cat, in which I was named Diablo, is, so I lived on my, Oh shit! I got teleported. Time and space. Here we go. Okay, this is a good time to tell the story about my cat, which is named Diablo.
The
So
instruments pause.
I
The symphony will soon continue.
I lived in this apartment, and it was like an upstairs apartment. It was kind of like, it wasn't like downtown, but it was on a very busy street, I guess, for the town. And the town's name is not Diablo. No, but the town itself was it's in central Newfoundland, and it's a fair sized town for what it is. But uh it was named Tristream. Oh, Tristram. Oh, cool. Hey, that's kind of cool. I like Tristram. Um, but my cat's name was Diablo. I don't really think you guys understand or where I'm coming from here. But anyways, um, so I moved into this apartment, and then diabetes. My cat's name was Diabetes. Uh, so uh, yes, Dio Zawarudo. Zawarudo. Oh yeah. Uh, so I had a cat, and I lived on my own in this apartment. And in this apartment, I had a cat named Diablo. uh, I thought I told you the name. Oh my god. Did I tell you the name already? I feel like I told you the name. I don't know. Do I? Oh, these afflictions are going to be fun. I can tell right now. Oh, anyways, so I had a cat named Diablo in this apartment that I lived by myself, but I didn't have it at the time I lived there by myself. So originally I moved in and I never had any cat named Diablo. I had no cat named Diablo. I had no cat at all, and there was definitely not one named Diablo. And I was just living there and just chilling out. And then what ended up happening was my ex, in which I was with when I was in Ontario, moved back to Grand Falls, which is where I was too. Um, and like I said, we started to kind of hang around again as friends because that's when she ate my cheese, left her teeth marks in the cheese, and I got in trouble for it. And literally, I moved out like 2 weeks after that, not because of the cheese incident, because I found an apartment. Yeah, so so I would live there, and then so the lady's name was Dana. Uh, so she ended up hanging out with me more, right? Because I was all like, wow, I got my own place now. Hey, this is pretty cool, right? And at the time, I was working at one of the call centers or something like that, like the technical call centers. I did like cell phone repair over the phone, which is kind of like impossible to do, but that's what I did. I had to troubleshoot phones over the phone and then get them to send it in for a refurbished one or whatnot. Um, wow, the heights that my college degree brought me to. But anyways, uh, so eventually, what ended up happening was they ended up moving in again. So I guess we were just not sick of each other enough. We were by the end, kind of. I was a mess. But anyways, ba, 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 ba. So then what happened was we just came home, went to work, came home. Now at the time, she didn't work, which is fine because I mean we're still like early 20s. So and I had enough money and stuff to kind of keep the place going by myself, right? Because it was a good paying job and it was whatever. So it was a stressful job. Say that call centers are stressful. But anyways, I came home and then one day I came home and Dina came up to me and was like, hey, I've got this big thing I want to show you, and I understand it's something that's she wasn't really sure how to take it, I guess, right? So I was like, what the heck? What are you talking about this big thing? Like, what'd you get? So I went up over the stairs, and she has this little orange kitten named Diablo, and that's the cat's name. It's Diablo. And in fact, do you want to see a picture of Diablo, or at least what it was? It's probably dead now, because I'll explain what happened. Um, but hey, this is the part where the cat was still alive, so that's kind of cool. Let me open up and see if I can find the cat named Diablo, and I'll put it on the screen. By the way, I love cats, so nothing happened with the cat with regards to me, if you're wondering. I didn't throw it into like a blender or anything. Let's see. It's like, no, you're putting that thought in my head. Hold on a second here now. Yes, the cat named Diablo. Diablo was the cat, or maybe the Diablo was what it was. A cat was its name. Maybe it was a Diablo named Cat. Maybe there was a bit of a reversal, role reversal. I've had a cat, and the cat was named Danko. Danko. All right. So these pictures are not great because this is really old. Like I said, it's 2002. So, not great in the photo era. And as you can probably, and you're gonna see something strange too when I show you the picture. Picture of the cat. So, okay, so let me bring it up here. Oh no, I'm gonna get copyright stricken. That's just too good. All right, cool. So here was my cat, and this cat. Oh, that's blurry as fuck. But anyways, that cat was named Diablo, and it had like a little tiny leash, a little tiny collar, I guess. Yeah, that cat has seen some shit. That cat has done some shit. I'm gonna tell you right now. So the story behind this picture in particular is that this is like after a whole bunch of shit happened within like 2 years, and I moved back with my mother again because I was a bouncy child, and I was there for another what about another 2 months before I moved to St. John's, and I never lived with her again because I'm gonna be honest, like we're lucky. We're lucky that we survived. We didn't kill each other. There was times in which um, one of us could have died. And I'm not even joking. There were some instances that happened that, yeah, one of us could have actually died from it. Okay. Anyway, here's the other cat. Oh yeah, here's the other cat picture I have. I don't know. Show up to this white thing up here. So why is it outside? Is the question you're probably having. Well, so the story goes as follows. Um, so this cat was a stray cat. We used to have a small little, it's a feral cat, I should say. We used to have a small little convenience store next to where I lived called Rosie's. I think it was called something else, but it turned into Rosie's afterwards. And I used to go over there frequently because, like, I never had a vehicle, and getting around this town was really difficult because even though it was a small town, it was a wide town. It was thick boy, big thick boy town, thick boy town we'll call it. That's what it is, thick boy USA. And not USA, well Canada, whatever. And so we used to go over there frequently. So we actually knew the store owner because we used to talk to them, right? We were like neighbors essentially. She lived like down the like literally next to us as well. And we were kind of like the weird ones where I had a lot of people over at my house, stuff here and there. I know a lot of people. I've always been that type of person that always was around others. So I was always around folks for some reason. Anyways, so she made friends with them and found out that hey, we found this cat outside. And then she's like, I don't know what to do with the cat. So this is the story I was told, anyways. So Daniel's like, oh no, poor kitty. So she's like, well, do you want the cat? And she's like, yeah, I'll take the cat. That didn't even ask me, but at the time, like, I was working and stuff, so um, I'm guessing that wasn't a priority for her to let me know she brought a cat home. Um, and it was a feral cat, but you know what's really strange? That the cat must have been not feral for very long because or like something happened because the cat was fairly friendly. But there was some non-friendly aspects of it. But it was a kitten. Like it was a kitten that was found in the trash can. So trash bin of the convenience store. So literally, so we adopted the cat and called it Diablo. Because we were both like goth people and weird, and really both loved Diablo 2, and we're like, fuck it, let's name the cat Diablo. Um, Sorry, what? Bodega cat? Yeah, totally. So, uh, I was kind of like, at the time, I was like, I'm not really sure how I feel about this. But eventually I was like, because like Dana was like, well, when I leave, if something happens to our relationship, I'll take the cat. I was like, okay, sure, no problem. I mean, that's fine. That's if something happens. Anyways, so the cat ended up becoming pretty attached to me, I think, because I ignored it a lot of the times. But then eventually I would bug it a lot of times too, because I was literally the type of person who would chase the cat around and like poke its butt while it meowed at me. So I that's what I do already to Gizzy, and I did the Jinx. So I'm sure that's why they hate me. But anyways, so I like teasing cats and stuff because they're fun. Anyways, the relationship didn't work out for various few reasons, and she didn't take the cat. So it was just me and Diablo was all that remained in the apartment eventually. And I was stuck with the literal devil. Yeah. Anyways, so we never let the cat out at the time because we didn't want anything to happen to the cat. The cat, however, wanted to go to fuck outside. It did not want to stay inside. It this like eventually got to a point where the cat was getting super agitated. Now I will say that uh, Diablo didn't have it easy with me. For a few reasons. Uh, for one, after Dana left, I ended up having issues emotionally. I quit my job because I was already stressed as it is, and that just put me over the edge because the job I said was pretty stressful. Um, so I didn't get fired, thank God, and I ended up starting another job. But the other job that I started, which I thought was going to be lower in stress, ended up turning out to be another nightmare. But it was working at like we have them here, but they're called Tim Hortons. So I mean, I went from literally having a technical job to like serving donuts and coffee, and I couldn't do anything about it because my brain couldn't handle what was happening. So anyways, I ended up changing my career. Now I couldn't quite afford where I lived anymore. So I would be scraping by, and unfortunately with the cat, like I had to basically feed whatever I had, right? So like I don't know, like you're supposed to feed it cat food, obviously, but I couldn't afford it, so I would literally look to see whatever I ate, if it was something that a cat could eat, which at the time was really difficult to find out any information because Google wasn't quite prevalent in 2003 or 2004. I guess 2003 actually. So anyways, so I was kind of like I didn't know what to do. I really had no idea what to do with the cat. So I didn't want anything bad to happen to it, and I wanted to kind of keep feeding it and stuff, and keep it going. So, um, but what happened with the cat became overly agitated, so it would keep meowing at the door and stuff for to go outside. And I was like, I'm in a building that has other apartments in it, so I'm kind of like, well, I don't want everybody get annoyed at me, so I'm gonna try and settle the cat down, right? Anyways, one day, uh, Diablo decided that nope, today was the day I'm getting GTFO. I know there's a bigger world out there, and you're not gonna fucking stop me. So I went down to basically try to calm Diablo again, calm the devil. And Diablo was like, nope, not today, and literally put out the claws, lashed onto my leg, and shredded my jeans, and also like left some deep marks on my legs, on one of my legs in particular, with his claws. Kick with his hind legs and everything. It was like biting and everything. He went complete feral on me, and I think it was my own fault, to be honest, because uh, I even though I was trying my best to make it. I mean, I gave it lots of love, lots of pets and stuff, and I mean, I noticed the personality was starting to change a bit because like I would have my hand down on my chair because I had like a chair with arms and stuff, and it would jump on my chair and like hug into my arm. And then when I try to move my arm, it'll just bite me and cling on. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just keep my arm here then, I guess. I guess I'm not moving. I said my arm is gone. My arm's not mine anymore. I don't own this anymore. So, so I knew that like it was getting a bit more aggressive towards me, and I don't know if that's just because I don't know. I mean, I let it kind of do whatever it wanted, but except for I wouldn't let it go outside because I was scared something would happen to him. But anyways, after that point, when he actually caused like injury to my leg and stuff with his claws, I opened up the door, and while he was still attached to my leg, and I don't condone anything like this, but anyways, he was still attached to my leg, and I was infuriated. I kicked my leg, and he jumped off. Right, he didn't. He just flew out the door, with a good swift leg motion, I guess. Now he didn't get injured by it or anything. Like he just landed on his feet with the taste of blood still in his mouth, I guess. And he looked at me like he was pissed, and I'm just like, get the fuck out of here, because I was so angry. So, anyways, so he ended up running away, and then I closed the door, and this was like in the fall, so it was starting to get cold, and now I feel even worse now. But don't worry, the ending is not there. Okay, there's more to the story. Okay. So, anyways, I had to like actually gauze up my leg. I had to use the first aid kit and stuff because I had like gashes and stuff from his claws, and even some bite wounds. And stupid me, I didn't go to the hospital or anything, so I should have probably went to see if I had to get like a shot or something. But I didn't. I just literally wrapped up my leg and put some band-aids on and said, "Fuck it." Self-care, not my priority. It seems. I'm like, fuck it, whatever. I'll just bleed it out. Um. Anyways, so a couple hours later, after all the emotion and stuff kind of washed out, I'm like, fuck, man, like that's my kitty. That's my kitty cat. I had that kitty cat for like 6 months at this point. Like I can't let that cat go. So, anyways, I went out that evening and called it for the cat, looked for the cat. And then my friends came over. So, like I said, I had so people. Okay, I used to have cops show up to my door because they thought I was selling drugs. Or like I had like fucking people's I had like ghost cars parking on the other side of my apartment because they thought I was like some kind of like dubious dealer or drug trafficker or something, because like I had a lot of traffic in my in my apartment because I had a lot of friends, I guess. I don't know, they just like I used to be the place that like, because I had some friends that were still in high, like just graduating high school, because I was only like what, 22, right? And then I had some friends who were older. Most of these friends came from like the board game community or the card game community, right? So I'll meet these friends like playing Magic the Gathering. Some of them are still in high school and stuff. So we would just have like a place that they can come. And like I said, people used to leave their shit at my place. They would used to leave their, because not everybody. I can tell you right now, a lot of my friends did not have not a lot, but nice couple of my friends did not have a very good childhood. So they would be scared that their parents were going to break up their shit. So they would literally bring it over to my place, and like that's how I got the GameCube, because like they were scared that their dad was going to actually smash the GameCube, so they used to bring it over to my place, like to keep it there. Um, anyways, so they used to keep. So my friends came over, and I was like, yeah, Diablo, I did this to me, and I showed them my leg and stuff. And it's like, and then I kind of like, and I was crying. I was so upset. So and I said I did something. I kicked him outside, and not kicked, but you know what I mean. Like I kicked, and he flew outside. Um, and I haven't seen him since, and I'm really upset, right? And they were kind of sympathetic towards it and stuff. One of them in particular had their own cat, which has a story about that person's cat. And Marina's cat has a story, so I'll save that one for later because it's pretty funny. Maybe I'll tell it in this one. I don't know. If you guys are interested in listening to stories of Diablo, I can go on with it. Um, but uh, but yeah, I don't know. Is anybody even listening to this? I'm not like rambling, am I? But anyways, so time passed, probably a couple days, and I kind of was just like, well, I guess the cat's gone. I'll never see it again. I get a doorbell ring. So at this point, I'm pretty sure I'm struggling at work too, like, cause I'm messed up. Like I had just had a breakup, a really like bad, nasty breakup, where I was like sobbing and crying, quit my job, and then number of maybe a couple of months later, maybe even could be even weeks actually, but I think it was a month or so later, I lost my cat. And now I'm like working overnights now at this job that that's causing me stress because they ended up understaffing it. So it's literally I'm like the only person from 11 p.m. until 6 a.m. I was the only person, or maybe no 5 a.m. Yeah, and I was the only person that was serving. Unfortunately, uh, I had to do both drive-through and the front desk on my own because we had 24-hour service, so people can come in and buy stuff in like so like I could have been robbed or anything like. But anyways, um, but it was hard to serve the front desk and the drive-through at the same time for one person. I mean, it's two literal different tasks, right? So, anyways, I got a story about that too, about what I did, because I got fired from that job, and I got fired for a fucking reason, because I did something. So, anyways, we'll come back to that some other time, because that's my rebellious side. That was like, yeah. Anyways, so the cat. So I was crying, I was depressed and stuff, but I had friends over every day, and they were trying to keep my emotions up, I guess, right? And play hack and sack outside under the streetlights because we were those type of people, real fucking winners of society here. Um, but you know what though? Like these people, other than one, there's one in a particular person who stole something from me that was worth a couple $100 at the time, but now is valued over a couple $1,000. So, but anyways, that person in particular, I found out stole it, and they told me the reason they stole it, and they didn't. They stole it from themselves, but also not from themselves. It was yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I should tell you that story or not right now because it's about the cat. So, anyways, so um, I had rivals. I literally had enemies in my life at the time who hated me because of who I was, I guess, and they literally had things out for me, like to do something to me. Anyways, whatever. So, but my friends were good. Like most of my friends were really good, and one of them in particular, who I don't really keep in contact with anymore, was kind of like the one that kind of sealed the story a little bit better. So a couple of days later, I get a doorbell ring, and I come downstairs, and I expect to see one of my friends, right? Because it's like evening after my shift, or not evening. Well, yeah, I guess that after my shift, I was doing night shifts, but like it was some time during that period where I was off or something because I didn't work 7 days a week or anything. And it was Josh, and Josh was with my cat in his arms. He goes, I found him in the KFC dumpster eating a chicken wing. And I was like, oh, Diablo, oh no, oh, and I felt really bad. I was like, well, at least he found some food, I guess. But still, like, man, like, that was me. Like, I fucking did that, right? So I was like, all right, Kitty, come on in. Come on back. And you know what's funny? Like, that cat was like, as soon as he seen me, he was like meowing at me and like wanting me to hold him and stuff. I was like, holy shit. Like, this is so weird. Like, he was so sad and I felt so bad. And I couldn't wrapped in my arms and like hugged him, gave him like kisses, even though it came out of the fucking garbage apparently. Um, but I was like, okay, you know what? We'll make a deal, Diablo. Okay, if you need to go outside, we'll let you outside. Okay, but we're getting you a collar. So that's where the collar came from. I went and bought that. It's a flea collar, uh, but also was like, I need something to have an indicator on it. Now there's no tag on this, but there was supposed to be a tag, so I did have a tag on it. but I didn't. I was just, I don't know. We don't. I was against letting the cat out. I still am. Like, I won't let cats out anymore. But like, I mean, I didn't want him to attack me again, so I had to like kind of figure out something. So, so Diablo was returned to me, and we, lived life, I guess, as the kitty and me. And unfortunately, I got to a point where I got fired from my job, which was something that I guess another story for how I got fired, because it's funny and also fucked up at the same time. uh, and then yeah, and then I couldn't pay my rent because I had no job, and EI wouldn't give me any money because I got fired, and probably for a just reason, maybe, I don't know. Uh, so I had no money, so I didn't go to social services. I just kind of let myself be delinquent. So eventually, my landlord was just like, "Here's an eviction notice. You gotta leave," and they cut off my power. And I was like in the middle of writing. So what happened was, during that period, I was hyper fixated on writing my first role-playing game. Well, technically, my first revision of a role-playing game, because I've written the role-playing game in when I was 16 in a book. So I have a book about, I don't know, 100 and something pages, um, and handwritten it all. So I still got that book. It's all handwritten. It's in two separate books. Um, so then what I did then was took my handwriting notes and try to make it into a digital format with some updates and stuff that I wanted to add to it. And we played that game like Jesus. Like we played that role playing game. That was like what my friends were for. They were there to play the game. They wanted to play role playing games. They didn't want to play Dungeons and Dragons. They wanted to play the game called that made it called Vandella. They were just really obsessed with it. And I was like all for it because I'm like, heck yeah, something I made. And but anyways, eventually I lost my internet because that was the first thing to go because I couldn't pay for it. And then eventually I lost my power. And then that wasn't good. My mother did come to visit me. She noticed that I didn't have any lights on. And she's asking why, and I said I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I guess the power's out. But no, they cut off my power. And then when she realized that, yeah, things went even worse, I guess. That's when I ended up moving back with her again and that's when I brought Diablo. That's where the pictures of that is. That's from my outside. It's him looking in. He's out in the cold and he's looking in, going, "Can you guys let me in now?" I was like, "Oh, this is cute." He's begging for warmth. Beg me for warmth. uh, and that's my cat named Diablo. Uh, and um, he uh, and then yeah, so once I got evicted, then I stayed with my mother, and I brought the cat with me. So there's just an unfortunate ending here. Uh, so my mother didn't like the cat because like it was a bit unruly, like me. I'm a pretty unruly person. See, I related to the cat. I understood the cat, right? I'm a pretty feral person myself. That's why, like when I was 16, like I kind of lived a feral life in that aspect because I just did whatever. I was all emotion and I just did reactions. And my undiagnosed ADHD and whatever autism issues I may have, all kind of came into like this one big fucking reactionary state of my life between 16 to 32, roughly. Um, but yeah, so I mean, I related to the cat. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, me and you, we're fucking piles of trash. Let's be a pile of trash together. And so I love the cat at this point. Like that cat it was in my life until it died. That's what my thought was. So my mother didn't like the cat, and I said, hey, no, I'll take care of the cat. Everything's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. 'Cause here I was unemployed. So I said, you know what? I'll clean up. I'll do your cooking. I'll do the housework or whatever. Just let me stay here for a while I figure out what I need to do for the next step, okay? And I know like I was at this time I kind of felt like I was a burden because like I said I was kicked out when I was 16 and then having to return home twice after that point, but even though they were only for a couple of months here, I felt like I was intruding on her life and being a burden, even though, like, I don't know. So, so I tried to make it up. So now what ended up happening was I did end up getting another job. Um, Oddly enough, I ended up getting another job. Um, back at the same, no, it wasn't back at the same place. It was I got a job at a retail store essentially. Yeah, Bargain Giants is called. Which is just, and it was during Christmas time, so stocking stuff, whatever. It was like it was around that time, just before Christmas, right? So it wasn't too far after when the cat was actually came back to me, I guess. Um, so I came home. So what would happen? My mother would leave the cat out in the porch. She would like literally lock him up in the porch because she didn't want the leather furniture she had to get clawed up, right? And so I mean, technically we could have just clipped the claws, and I mentioned doing that, but she's like, no, I don't want I don't want the fur around either. Like just I want you to basically just keep the cat in there, and then when you leave, take the cat with you. And I was like, yep, that's what I plan on doing. So I had to play with the cat either outside, which worked, or I had to play with the cat in the porch. It wasn't The cat wasn't allowed inside the house. Um, so anyways, one day I came home from work and the cat was gone, and I was like, oh, okay, he's probably let it outside or whatever. And then I noticed the cat didn't come back, and I was like, what the fuck's going on here? So after a day, I started looking for the cat, wondering where the heck the cat was. And then my mother told me, oh, the cat's gone because if I found a new home for you, because you weren't able to look after it, and I felt bad for the cat being in the porch. So I have this new family who took the cat, and I'm like, who did it? She goes, well, I'm not telling you who did it. So I was like, well, so I'm not allowed to see the cat anymore. This is like, so I was super upset and broke down and started crying and stuff. And she basically said, yeah, well, I felt bad for the cat that he couldn't go in the house, so I got rid of the cat. And now there's a new family that's going to adopt it and love it and take care of it properly, right? Because I couldn't take care of it properly, she was saying. And I was like, that hurt me a lot. So I cried for like days after that, and I found out later that she just brought the cat to the SPCA. So she went to like a kill shelter and brought my cat. So I didn't find out this till years later, because I would have went and got the cat right away. Especially,